2025.
Hello there, hold on a minute. Hello there, can you hear me all right? Can you hear me all right? You're on a hands-free loudspeaker, is that a bit better? Hertfordshire. So he is part of Hertfordshire, Watford. To incriminate me. Since I recorded this for help, I made a complaint. I want to find out what this evil woman police officer who did night shift, who her sergeant is, so I can speak to the sergeant, for putting disinformation and turning off her body camera. I'll speak to a sergeant about it because she's putting disinformation. And that was years ago since I made a complaint, and they're still using it against me in the same office. So I'm not in a position to get help because she smeared me. She said, I'm going to record what she said. If I get to speak to someone. They're disgusting perverts and obscurers of justice. So she did night shifts. She decided she didn't like the way I looked like and who I was regarding mental health connection. I'm not going to even mention any complaint in this call. I'm just going to find out who her boss is and if she still works there. She may not work there anymore. 9th of December 2021. It's awful. You call for help, you cry for help, and end up getting slapped. Striked. So I need to have freedom of information access because I don't have internet to find out what police are holding against. Me actually, because I was talking and you kept interrupting me and asking if you can hear me. Turn you off the loudspeaker, is that better now? So I don't have to shout anymore. Freedom of information. Do you have their address so I can request it, please? And how much does it cost? I can't be done by email. Is everything... Well, that's out of order. What do you mean you're afraid? You say, what, I'm going to find some elephant shit and put it on your desk? It can't be email. I have no computer. An elephant shit on your desk. You don't have the capacity. You only have to do everything online, which is so pathetic. Well, I talk to you like that any way I want. Thank you very much. How are you helping me? I don't have a computer. definitely do want that information, but I do not have the computer, so how could you help me? Thank you. Sure. I mean, if there is a charge for the alternative route, I can pay for that charge also with a check. I do have a checkbook, so I can put that in the envelope. Yes, please. Yep. 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 So it's 01234 842 547. Yep. Commission officer. Or compliance officer. So if I call them, then they can send me the form direct to my home address, is that right? Yeah, because I'm stuck without a computer, and I'm also struggling with my disability, so I don't need this information on your record. This is the worst thing to happen for a disabled person, to have disinformation on record.
And be haunted by a 20-year stalker.
Or to have information used against me for making a complaint against the police 5 years ago. That was 5 years ago. That's nothing to do with 2020-25. And yet it's still being used against me because I made a one-off complaint against the police, which is horrible. Yeah. Somewhere they have hidden the old record. I think they have. I have got the old record in front of me. Can I ask you to look at the incident and tell me if it's still there? Yeah, and I also want to give you the crime number where I was assaulted and asked for help. Can I give you that when you finish? That's not good at all. It's hiding the address. I mean, the government has made everybody rely on the internet so much, which is gross. Elderly people that don't do it's gross. It's gross. Negligence of the people that are disabled and or fragile or frail who are elderly. Everybody uses the internet.
And
And also, it's where the tyrants and where the cyber bullies are there, and people that could attack you on the street. So using the internet is not safe. I hate emails. I've had hackers hack me through emails. Absolutely detestable thing, because I've had so many problems through email and junk and horrifying. Information Commissioner Office, yeah. Wycliffe. Is that with a double F at the end? House. Yep. Water Lane, yep. Please spell that. Whiskey India Lima Mike Sierra. Lima Oscar Whiskey. You're Speedy Gonzales. Cheshire, I know how to spell Cheshire. Oh, yeah. Is it Chesire? Lane, Wilmslow, Cheshire, CK958F. So I'll be putting...
Wycliffe at the beginning. And Wycliffe has an E at the end.
It's not 9-5, it's 9S. Oh, Sierra. So it's SK9-5AF. Got you. Oh, you sound absolutely adorable now. I love you to bits. No, because I've been so frustrated. I've been attacked. My bin has been stolen. I have to store my bin bags inside the house. Oh, my. Yeah, no, I reported it already. They know about it. But they won't help me. They cancelled. They said they were coming. I spoke to Hertfordshire Police and got a crime, and they cancelled it, but they're looking to reschedule it. And I hope to God, with no contact freedom information, they can remove the smear campaign against me. Yes, so 5 years ago, so the original person that did this, that I complained against the police, is lingering and lurking about. It's reference HC-9, which is the 9th of December, 2021, -0025. It was 9th of December, Thursday, 2021, when I first contacted the police about being attacked and groped by an elderly gentleman. And she came round and said, oh, you must have enjoyed it because you're friends. And I said, no, I didn't bloody well enjoy it because friends are not supposed to sexually molest. So I made a complaint against her. And since I made a complaint, I don't know if it's still on your record. Is it blanked or is it still on there? Is it still on there that I made a complaint against PC Sparks? Don't think so. Not on me. But what comes up? What does it mention sexual molestation? Hello? My name is Mima. Mima. M-I-M-M. Hapunch. H-A-double. Told them this elderly gentleman, I was his friends with his wife. His wife died. He came to molest me after his wife's death. And he doesn't know anything to do with agape love. He wanted me to be his girlfriend and I didn't. And I said, can you please stop him? Hello? Yeah, can you hear me? So I'm just telling you some brief information about the background. Does it match? Yes, my name is Mima. Yeah, I had a different name then because of the sexual assault. I was so embarrassed by it. My name was Maria. Person, it was officially changed. It's never happened to me before. I was deeply, deeply traumatized by this. Yeah, I called in the 9th of December 2021. It was a Thursday. I remember it as if it was yesterday.
I recall from home to see you, and then it was crime by the diary.
Tell me who the sergeant was. Who is her sergeant? In order for me to request the removal of data, I need to know who her sergeant is.
So, E at the end. K-E-E-N-E.
Got you. Yeah, and is that a man or a woman, Keen?
Sure.
Is it a Mr. or a Mister? Miss or Mr.?
K-E-E-N-E.
Doesn't tell you? Don't worry, no worries if it doesn't tell you, but I've got the number, which is 2241. So what she did, she switched off her... It's a Mr. She switched off her body camera so that she wasn't recorded and insulted me in my disability. I'm severely disabled when my...
Sorry, are you reporting... Do you want to make a complaint?
No, I'm just telling you very briefly what it's regarding.
You're going to tell me that somebody insulted you over a recorded line and I need to take...
I don't want to use the history about this. I want to cancel it all. I want to clean it. Get rid of all my data. Because what she did, when she did not help me, she harmed me. And that's why I want it to be removed.
I need to record this. You're telling me that you've been harmed.
Came to PC Sergeant Sparks. She switched off her body camera and said, "You must have enjoyed the sexual assault because you were friends with him." And so I complained. And since I complained, the police are not helping me with my rubbish bin that has been stolen. This week, they were going to come and see me. Yes, that's been dealt with, but very, very dubious work from the... They're using history against me, and they're reading disinformation against me since I made a complaint against the police. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. And then I explained, no, this is platonic love. This is friendship. I did not enjoy him molesting me, and I don't want you talking to me like that. But she insisted that I must have enjoyed him molesting me because we were boyfriend and girlfriend. I said, no, we were not boyfriend and girlfriend. He's old enough to be my granddad.
You'll need to do your freedom of information request. And if you want to make a complaint about the police, you can.
No, I would never make a complaint against the police. I've learnt my lesson. Ever since I made a complaint 5 years ago, it's used against me. So in future, if I have any problem or if I need any help from the police, I'm now being wrongly accused. Well, not accused, but...
Okay, I'm going to end the conversation. I'll let you carry on and do your freedom of information. I'll give you all the information that you need. All right?
All right then, bye.
Thank you for your call. Bye now.
So he ended the call, which he shouldn't have done. It's horrible. They're just so... They have no duty of care. They're so horrible. And they've got the record on there, and now I have the proof that they've got the record on there. He was reading the notes. He refused to tell me what the record is. So they're using my history against me. This evil witch of a woman who did night shifts that switched off her body camera, I made a complaint against her, and that's still used against me. So now I know who her boss is. I'm going to have to write a letter this year and make a comment. They're breaking their own rules. They've got loopholes to break rules. So they're breaking rules. Broken rules, broken promises that they were going to investigate, and then they've stopped the investigation because I made a complaint. So they did not proceed to investigate because I complained. So they refused to help me. And now the history, so point one, and now history is repeating itself 5 years later. So 5 years later, call for help, no help. So get this, so it's like they're pre-planning for me to be attacked on the street. I'm being hacked, private information hacked on my phone, my social media, all of this, what the police have no sense of duty of care, which would be point 4, no duty of care. They don't understand the difference between agape love, so they're bad leaders, and romantic love. They don't understand the difference between the two. So no care, no duty of care. They want to force me to complain. I will not complain. But I will ask them to give me the information so I can correct, so not complain. So they've mismanaged everything. It's outrageous. And yet I'm the one who's trying to stay calm here, so I'm not going to complain. I will correct the info. So these are the 5 points. And so they've broken their promise to investigate. They've used history against me. History used against me. And all of this in support of this witch over here. This fascist, worse than a Nazi invisible enemy who did night shifts. And it's all a setup for me to fail and to look for fault, which would bring... So they come here to check up on me, do mental health assessments on me, and to send me back to the nut house. So they look for fault, or, what was the other thing I said in the note? So they're getting paid for actually making matters worse, not actually help people. It depends. They pick and choose who they want to help, which is Pikachu. They want to spill the blood of the innocent. It's satanic. So, I have here, I've written it down in this original letter. They pick a fight. So they want to look for fault and pick a fight. So they're actually defending sex offenders and criminals and protecting criminals. So to call the police actually is the worst thing I did. And I now have the evidence that the police are not what they say they are. They're not there to help so-called victims unless the victim is rich. They're not all employed, but the victim who is unemployed, sick and disabled, they refuse to help. So it's extreme discrimination. It's extreme discrimination, this. And it's very bad. Very, very bad. And the government has organised this. One law for the rich, another law for the poor. Help the rich, help the popular, help the famous. But those who are a minority, no, can't help you. No, can't help you. We're going to harm you. Is it possible to complain over the post?
I'm just going to have a look now for you.
The last time I complained was 5 years ago and it got me nowhere. I'm hoping that this time it will get me somewhere since history is being used against me. It is not funny.
You can go to the office for and
Do you have someone else rather than the independent one? Not that one. Not that one. Because I've used them before. It didn't get me anywhere. Can I have someone else, like directly relating to the Hertfordshire Police? I'm waiting for subject freedom of information. Once I receive that, then then after receiving that in the post, then I will make a proper complaint, because then I'll have the proof. I've already told you it's going to be by post.
yeah, so the only reason I asked about that is if you were to email, you would have a break. So an email thread with what you saying date.
I don't want any email and I don't want any thread. I don't have a mobile number. I'm calling you from my landline. So the office commissioner, what was it? The office, what? The police. The office of the police and crime commissioner. For Hertfordshire, yeah. Pardon? P-E-E-L, house, yeah. And is that Hertfordshire? It is for Hertfordshire, right? Yep. 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 Can you spell Harpenden? Yep. 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 And what's after that? And is there someone in particular for attention of who? Wow, I've got quite a lot. I've got 8 pages here that was supposed to have someone come round to help me. I was determined not to make a complaint against the police, but since you keep using my history against me and hanging up the phone on me at the experience and feedback of the experience of the calls I'm getting from the call handlers. I mean, they're overdoing it with putting the phone down on me. I mean, what's your policy on putting... Like, I can understand it if I was slandering or abusive. And sometimes they say, if you speak over me, I'll put the phone down, which is arrogant, because you want the person who has called the police for help to finish talking. So I found that the experience I had with to give you some feedback, is that I've had about 4 or 5 people put the phone down on me, which is excessive since I'm not abusive, since I'm not slandering. However, I am talking a lot because I'm being misguided. I'm talking a lot because you've cancelled the appointment with me. I'm talking a lot because there's a mismanagement. And mismanagement generally, which is very bad. And so what I have discovered to my horror is that the phone's being put down on me a lot. And it's the other way around. It is the police that are being abusive towards me. Well, I just want to find out about your policy, because you do introduce your automated machine that says you do not tolerate abuse. So you are allowed to put phone down on people. So am I abusive? Can you find out? Does it say I'm abusive or that I'm talking over? Yeah. So my home address is 69. Are you Kim? What was your name? Jamia.
Jamie.
Oh, Jamie. Yeah, so they've put... I'm normally a quiet girl. I normally do not talk a lot. But when you have got so much overwhelming disinformation, I have to reapproach you and say, well, this is disinformation. This is why I'm talking a lot, because of a lot of the disinformation and confusion going on. And each time I say I'd rather have the same person, which is a familiar person, and I don't have the opportunity to correct your records because your records are hidden and you're not allowed to read it out. And I think it's very unreasonable and abusive of the police to put the phone down on me because I'm talking too much. So I had someone phone me about 5 or 6 p.m. Can you find out who it was that phoned me? Who wanted to come and see me to have a chat regarding my crime report, which I specifically said I want to keep that separate from the current situation. But she didn't get that, she didn't understand. And then she decided to put the phone down because she realised I made her sound like she was making a mistake. And therefore she decided to put the phone down as soon as she realised she made a mistake. Which is not fair. So they're using this policy to break their own rules and make unfair judgment. Well, thank you, Jamie, for reading all the notes. What do you gather from that? Why they put the phone down on me? Is it because I talk over them?
Go back to a few sort of calls, and I'm just looking at the crime report.
Yeah. Well, the police phoned me up and cancelled the appointment. And somebody else then phoned me who didn't know anything about my case. She was the one talking over me. It's the other way around. So I'm wrongly accused. Yeah, the appointment was booked. She phoned me up this morning twice. She phoned me in the morning to put my hopes up. I'll see you at 2:30 today, between 2:30 and 3:30. And then she phoned me back the second time and said she had to cancel because, unfortunately, she had to put my hopes down and say, sorry, I can't make it because I've got another job. My job was too long, and which is fair enough. It's a reasonable thing. But it's not fair if it's organised. If it's organised or set me up to fail. If it's set up for me to fail, having police help me, so I'm being set up for a fail. I'm also there looking to fight with me. So fail, and they're also setting me up for finding fault with me. All of this does not help, it harms. But I was the one who called the police for help. It would help me today, Jamie, if you can find out who it was that phoned me to take place of, I don't know who it was. She didn't even tell me who her name was. She phoned this number, which is 01923, to replace Kathy. Because Kathy cancelled it. But I'm saying now that if you're going to help me, make sure it's the same person, please. No. Oh, that's strange. That's a bit odd, isn't it? But thank you for being in touch because it was Kathy and she sounded professional. Thank you for that. But the second woman who phoned me was not professional. It was out of the blue and very, very odd.
So I believe it's a different team. So in the room it's coming to now, we are control room, but we have different teams that deal with different types of crime.
Really? It was regarding like 2001. That's years ago. It's now 2025. I never told anybody, not even my husband, that I was raped. And I didn't know about her policy and 72 form that she wanted me to fill, and that she was a rape specialist. But she didn't tell me who her name was. She didn't realise that I wanted a separate meeting regarding that. And it caused me bad stress. Can you find out what department it came from? Because I will be writing a complaint. She was very unprofessional. If she was professional, I would have gone ahead with it. But since she was unprofessional, I've decided I don't want police's help regarding my history of rape now, because they've put me in the victim's category. And they've also accused me, they have also said that the same woman who phoned me has said that I could be making allegations against the rapist. So therefore, she needs me to sign a form. And I responded, I'm not signing anything. I'm not making allegations. I'm the one who's called you for help. So it's not nice.
So what I can see, Kathy, she works out of Hatfield, and
No, she's the helpful one. She's the helpful one. Kathy was professional. It's the other woman that phoned me. Who was that?
No, it wasn't.
Because I certainly don't want history to be used against me, and for the police to say, oh, you're accusing somebody if we go and investigate. I want to know how they investigate. If they investigate in the way that I want them to investigate, that means if he raped somebody else, then I would be involved. Otherwise, I don't want him to mention my name. I haven't had any contact with him since then, 2001. I don't want the police even mentioning my name. It has to be anonymously done, but they refuse to do it. So she's literally she attempted to force me to sign a form, which is a 72 form or something like that. She didn't tell me what the policy is. She hung up on me. She hung the phone up. What policy is this? She said, in order for us to delete your report, which was on the 20th. No, it was on the 20th of January, for the first time I told a soul. I never told anyone else. And it took me a very long time to recover from being deeply traumatized by it. I was dating him for 3 months, and it was a date rape. And I couldn't believe that she put the phone down and didn't tell me about the policy, but she wanted to force me to sign this form and didn't explain what the form is. Is that true that you can't delete the record? It has to be permanently on that. So that record, which is 20th of January, police's code is 396. Can you delete it now? Well, it's wrong because I don't want to get involved. I didn't know that they would investigate without my permission. I don't want the police to investigate if they're going to mention my name to him. I don't want my name mentioned. It's wrong. Please stop. I don't want the police to investigate in that case. So what do I have to sign to get you to stop in the investigation? Stop. I don't want my name mentioned to him.
An alien.
Because of the mismanagement of you know, not being aware of what the police do and your policies. I was not aware of it, so therefore it's out of my hands. The police is taking taking too much control. And that could be turned around as a discrimination. It could be turned around as demoralization. I don't want the police having too much control. If Kathy can confirm that my name is not going to be mentioned to the perpetrator, then you can go ahead. It depends what type of action. That's what worries me. Can it be Kathy, please? And her number is no 5 sergeant no, and the sergeant is Colbeck. Was it Miss Colbeck that phoned me? I hope to God not. No, because if that's her manager, that's disgraceful. I will not be spoken to like that. But she said you have to sign the form 72 if you want to opt out or you don't want police to take further action. She didn't tell me what type of action, so she's not helpful. It was rude. It was rude. Yes, the other one's untrustworthy, unpredictable, and unprofessional. But if you can find out who it was and report her, because it was unexpected for her to call me, and she attempted to cancel everything, which was wrong.
Right, I put this on for you, okay, and I'm going to flag this up to Kathy and Cecilia, and ask them to make contact. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
And I've given you the address to the office.
And Kathy had an assistant who was going to go along with her. It's TYRIQUE, and her number is to copy her in everything that we discuss, so she also has a copy, because she's coming. I don't mind, just let them know. I don't mind what date it is, but when it's convenient for her, my preference is the first thing in the morning because it's delayed, because she cancelled it due to unforeseen circumstances of her job. Her last caller was longer than she anticipated. So can you let them know? Can we do the morning rather than the afternoon, please? So the first thing would be 9ish in the morning from then. I have everything ready. I've written a letter of complaint, but which I also want her to take with her, photocopy everything, and give, because I'm disabled, you see. If they can kindly copy all of that in, so I have a copy, and then just put it in a post. So I struggle with walking. I was in a wheelchair, so I'm very, very fragile. Thank you. Yeah, me too. Thank you for that help. Take care. Bye. So, if I can have it in writing, what type of action they could take, then I would agree to sign the form for them to investigate. If they don't do that, then I'll tell them to get lost, basically, in a polite, professional way. I'll just say no. No further action required. So I'll see. Is it possible to complain over the post?
So somebody on the side, who is the bigger boss, is intervening and getting involved to find a loophole, or some way that they could get involved to make it my disservice rather than a service. And I noticed she said, "Can you trust Kathy?" So I had to do some acting and say, "Yeah, I trust Kathy. I do not trust any of them. I won't do anything without the police writing to me and it's signed confirmation that my name would not be mentioned. Once I have that in writing, then I can proceed with them investigating this rapist who raped me in 2001, who got away with it. And I then got married after a year after that. And 2 years after that, I got married. Then I had domestic abuse. And so it was daytime when I was raped. Broad daylight. Sleeping over. Date rape. Just waking up in the morning when I was raped in the morning. Then never told my husband. And then he raped me while I was asleep at night. In domestic abuse. So it's enough to stay away from any type of romantic relationship for nearly 20 years. For this reason, because I'm looking for someone special, if I can find him. However, with so much smear campaigns and the destruction of my social media and reputation, I probably won't find him and I'll remain single for the rest of my life. That's what the enemy exactly wants. Against the orphan and the outcast. All I ever wanted was family and friends, and cannot have that because they demonized me. I've made a note of what the enemy does: demoralizing, betraying, partial judges. It's a race issue. So I've already mentioned that in the video, that if you're rich or you have fame, you're more likely to be helped compared to if you're poor and unemployed, not likely to be helped. So I don't trust any of them. I think Kathy's probably the worst one of all of them. Even the nastiest ones. She sounds the nicest. So I like the Bible reading. Here I'm reading in Luke chapter 1 verse 26 to 23. Bible reference. How she was honest. So honesty has everything to do with being able to trust someone. She helped her mother bake cakes and bread and spin the wool and clean the home and do what her parents arranged. So my daughter never had behavioural problems until the government came to intervene. So it's no government. If they're going to do this and victimise the most vulnerable by calling them victims rather than empower them to be survivors, they want the credit for everything when in fact they're the ones who discredited me, so they don't deserve to have the credit. So the government is not a parent, and yet since my kidnap and my divorce, domestic abuse, I was too afraid to mention the rape. So I'm just putting them to the test and scrutinising them to say I've been discredited, disserviced. Every dysfunction that was on my ex-husband is forced on me. And so she was also Mary, accused of sleeping with someone when she didn't sleep with anyone. Maybe. So was she raped? That's what Joseph, who she was going to marry, assumed that she was raped. Then angel came as a messenger and told Joseph that she was not raped. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. God loves you, chosen you with special honor, and you're going to have God's own son. Since he was buzzing with questions, expecting a baby, was it another man's baby? Nope. So she was not raped. That's how I'm encouraged in this story, because Mary, the mother of Jesus, is honored. God honors me, and all the saints who I believe are alive. There's 2 spirit bodies. There's a physical body and a spiritual body. And that she's still alive. So her body's died, her physical, carnal, her spiritual still lives on. So since I know that God honors me and God has helped and healed me when no one else did, everybody else had come to destroy me, had come to make accusations, allegations, smear campaigns, outnumber me, overpower me. I was very frightened. And I was very scared to tell anyone, because soon after that I had domestic abuse and then divorced, and then the death of my ex-husband, and then the disaster of me losing my one and only daughter, my one and only. So now they own my daughter. They've purchased her and turned me into a slave and done death threats on me. So remember your cousin Elizabeth. So even though it says, King David said, your own relatives have disowned you, I will never disown you. So there's also saints in heaven, such as Elizabeth, Mary, Joseph, who are in the mansions in heaven, who are waiting for me. And I know that God honors me, so I know God is on my side. So who are they but satanic and to be against me? I don't expect Satan to help me. But what I am doing, I don't expect the police to help me. However, I expect them to do their jobs, and that is to take the crime number, investigate, have the evidence, so I can have a service, not a disservice. That is a duty of care. So I can't force them to care. I can't force them to help me, but I can expect them to do their jobs. And if they don't do their jobs, I will complain, but that's not going to get me anywhere anyway. So my lesson learned, they use my history against me. They're not helping the innocent. They're harming the innocent, and they're only helping criminals and the immoral. So it's the worst thing to do is to call the police, because they won't do their jobs. They actually get the pleasure out of destroying people's lives based on the disinformation and wrong records that they keep. I don't expect them to help me. I just expect them to do their jobs. Closing. What do you think, Bunny? You agree with me? Enjoying your straw? She's got a huge cage, though. Let's show. Huge cage. Big enough to put a man inside. That's where Gareth belongs.